it has figured out all the guitars that I have right there. It's probably like 6-7 guitar parts. Everything is there. It hasn't missed anything. I can pretty much go from stereo mastering to stem mastering and have the exact same starting point with a null test. If the label says we want more kick drum, I can give them more kick drum without compromising the mix. Today's video wasn't planned, but after checking out what I'm about to show you, I just couldn't allow myself not to make this video. Today I'm going to talk about the brand new version of Spectralayers that was just released, and in my opinion it changes things drastically when it comes to the control that we're going to have when it comes to mastering situations, to mixing situations, and also remixing, but also sound design. I'm really excited to share this with you. Let's get started. A couple of weeks ago I released a video about Spectralayers that's integrated in Cubase that allows you to extract the vocals and the instrumental out of any track. And many of you reached out to me, you told me that you didn't know that this was possible, and I'm really glad that I helped. Little did I know that Spectralayers 10 was just around the corner. Now Spectralayers is a massive application. Let me show you here very quickly. This is the actual standalone Spectralayers application, and it can do so many different things. I will not even start scratching the surface here. You can treat Spectralayers like Photoshop for sound. Now the reason why I decided to make this video is because there's a new feature in Spectralayers 10 that allows you to extract even more elements when it comes to the Unmix function. Of course you can do this in the standalone application, but what I prefer to do when I'm working with these kinds of things is I like to work with Spectralayers in ARA in Cubase. And without any further ado, I'm going to show you what you can do straight away. I've loaded my single Crime Reborn here. The reason why I selected this track is A, I'm not gonna have any copyright strikes, but B, and most importantly, it's a very dense and complex arrangement. Let me play a little bit of it and let me show you how we can start extracting all the elements of this arrangement. So we have piano with some bells here, and here's where the vocals come in.
What have we done? Seems 2 times just wasn't enough. We carry our lives in our backs and a wheel.
Okay, we have guitars here, and now let's move on to the part where the entire band comes in.
We walk in a plane, collapsing and drained with disgrace, but failing to cut to the chase. This won't last for too long. Devoured by the sun, whenever.
Let's say I want to separate all the elements of this track. Now in this case I'm going to use Spectralayers 10, and let me show you how you do it in Cubase, because I like to do this in Cubase, and I'm gonna show you why. I'm going to go to Audio, Extensions, Spectralayers. And now Spectralayers analyzes the audio straight away, and now all I need to do to extract the different elements is go to Unmix, and as you can see they've added quite a few options here. Like I said, I'm not gonna go through all of them, but if you're interested, let me know in the comments down below. I'm going to make a video if you let me know about this. So we can see we have Unmixed Song, we have Unmixed Drums that I'm going to show you in a second. We have multiple voices. This is for dialogue, so if you have 2 people talking, it can separate the 2 persons talking into different channels. Amazing. What I'm going to show you in this video is the song unmix. So I'm going to click on song, and as you can see we have vocals, guitar, bass, drums, piano, and other. And we have some quality settings. I'm going to go for best. All you need to do is hit OK. It's pretty much like 2 clicks, okay? And now it's going to start unmixing the song. For my MacBook Pro, this is an M1 Max MacBook Pro. It takes around 1.5 minutes. But bear in mind, I'm using the best algorithm, right? Once it finishes processing, you will see that we have vocals, we have drums, we have guitar, we have piano, we have bass, other, and non-unmixed. Now, when it comes to other, most of the times it's synths, it's anything that doesn't fall into the previous categories. Now, let's go to one of the really busy sections of the song.
Flags are waving over me, hiding the light and
Okay, now listen to the guitars. It has figured out all the guitars that I have right there. It's probably like 6-7 guitar parts. Everything is there. It hasn't missed anything. And now let me isolate more elements. Let's go with the vocals.
We walk in a plane, collapsing and the only thing left in our past.
For me, this is a game changer, especially when it comes to the control that this is going to give me from now on for mastering when we cannot go back to the original mixes. And by the way, this video is not sponsored at all by Steinberg. They have no idea I'm making this video. I literally checked out Spectralayers 10 today and I wanted to share this with you. I don't even have affiliate links down below, nothing. So if you want to support the channel, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't done so already, or just use the super thanks if you really want to support what I'm doing. And you know what? You might also want to check my Modern 80s drum kit and my Apollo expansion for Patch Shop if you're interested in my sounds. Now let me show you some more things that you can do. Now when you do this, exactly like I showed on my previous video, you can start dragging and dropping all the different stems into Cubase. For example, I can drag the vocals in, boom, there we go, we have the vocals. If you want to drop in the drums, just drag it, drop it, and there we go, we have the drums right there. And like I said on the previous video, you don't have to sync anything. Everything is getting synced straight away. So you can see it's exactly on the right spot. You don't have to be careful or anything like that. Now let me show you something that's very, very important, especially when it comes to mastering and when you want to retain the integrity of your track, of your original material. So what I've done here is I have the same track and I've extracted all the parts, the stems from Spectralayers 10. So this is the original and these are the stems. What I've done here is I've reversed the phase of the original track and you can see that we have no sound. And why is that? That's because when Spectralayers extracts the stems, the sum of all the stems is exactly the same, exactly identical like the original track, which is incredibly important. Now, I know that there are many applications out there that do stem separation. Even the ones that do it very well, check it out, they don't cancel when you reverse the phase. When I start changing the level of the original, we start getting back audio, which means the sum of these stems completely cancel the stereo file that we had originally, which is very important if you're planning to do anything when it comes to mastering, when it comes to processing. This gives me so much room to play with when it comes to mastering. So if I have a client that send me a file that needs mastering, but they say, you know what, we really want the vocal louder, or we need the bass louder, or you know, there's this bass feel that we cannot really hear, can we make it louder? Is there a way? Now I can happily say yes, there is a way. And actually I've been doing this even with Spectralayers 9 up to this point. That was my secret weapon when I had to do these things. So when I had a label, they wanted to do remasters and all these things. These tools is what brings you work, okay? Let's say I want to change the level of my drums.
Everything's over and done. The only thing left in our past is this wheel to go on.
For example, in this section of the song, there's a nice bass run. Let's enhance this. Okay, I'm exaggerating, of course, but I can do this now, and this was a stereo file that was actually mastered. So I can actually go in and change all these things. Now I want you to pay attention in this specific moment. Okay, this vocal has a delay from my Tape Echo EFX2. This is a real tape delay. Let's listen to this vocal in isolation, okay? I'm going to solo it. I mean, it figured out, it's so clear. You know, this delay, this tape echo that we have here, I think this is remarkable. So now if I wanted to enhance this, I could just automate it. And I'm using a track like this because it has real instruments, it has acoustic instruments that are really hard to extract, and most algorithms will have trouble trying to extract all these things. Let me show you a different style. This is another one of my singles. This is Vintage Lullabies, and I've already done the extraction. Let's have a listen. Guitar.
Can you hear? Is the sound in your head evolving? Can you see through this glass of curtain?
I mean, it's so clear. The reverbs are so clear. Let's go to the chorus where things get really busy.
We're sailing towards the
Synths. Now, this is unreal to me. These guitars are there, but they're extremely low in the mix. Listen to this.
Now it's time for us to shine. We're sailing.
And it still extracted them. I am blown away. Seriously, I almost forgot there were guitars there.
Velvet sounds for young lives. Now it's time for.
I would have expected that it would just throw the guitars into the others category, but it didn't. It figured out that there were guitars there somewhere in the back. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the next thing that I was really excited about. I can now extract drum elements. So if I select this drums stem that I just created, I can go here to my Unmix dialog and say drums. And now this allows me to extract the kick drum, the snare, and the cymbals. So let's hit OK. And in a few seconds, I have the kick layer, the snare layer, and the cymbals. And you can imagine what comes next. Now I can drag the kick drum and the snare layer to my arrangement, and if the label says we want more kick drum, I can give them more kick drum without compromising the mix. And it goes without saying that now that I have all this control, I can go here and start adding effects in all my stems. I can pretty much go from stereo mastering to stem mastering and have the exact same starting point with a null test, so they cancel. And if you use the standalone Spectralayers 10, you can adjust the level of your vocals right there in the application, the drums, the guitar, bass, and so on and so forth. So you can really do a complete remix. For me, one of the most important things when we talk about stem separation is, number one, the original file and the generated stems should absolutely know if we're talking about serious applications like mastering critical stuff, right? So if you're doing a remix, most applications would do a okay job in extracting the vocals and the instrumental. But do they know? I tried quite a few of them. Some of them I actually didn't know, and you let me know in the previous video, and they don't know. And this is a big problem. So number one is, do they know? Number two is, how many stems does the algorithm deliver? And that's why I was so excited about Spectralayers, because now you have drums, bass, guitars, vocals, synths, which is in the other category, piano, and even an unmixed category. And number 3, and this is very important, how well does it sound when you start balancing the elements with each other in a mastering situation? When you work with the results from Spectralayers, it almost feels like you have control over the original mix. And the fact that you can use it inside Cubase and do all these things super fast without going to a separate app, doing this, re-importing, like I said in the other video, for me this is a huge thing. If I put a smile on your face today, subscribe if you haven't done so already, it's entirely free, or hit the like button. And if you feel like you really want to support me, just use the super thanks button right here or check on my instruments. Thank you so much for watching, my friends. I'm really looking forward to your thoughts in the comments down below, and I'll see you on the next one.